Okay, pre-algebra crazies. This is notes on 8.2 volume of Cones, April 6, 2020. This is page 93 in your notes. All right, so a cone goes to a point, and the way you would draw it is you draw an oval here, like this. Put a dot in the middle, dot in the corner, dot on this side, and a dot somewhere at the top in the middle. Then you take a straight edge and you connect that line and that line with that dot, and then a dotted line in the middle, and then use a straight edge to connect from the middle to the outside, and you'd have your cone. All right, a cone is like a cylinder, but as the cylinder goes straight up, a cone's circles get smaller, so we have a little bit of a difference in our volume formula. So this is your radius from the center to the outside. This is your height from the top down to the middle of the bottom. And so the volume is 1/3 pi r squared times your height. So the difference between a cylinder and a cone is that 1/3, because as you pour water into this cone, the bottom fills up first, and as the water rises, the circles, as you can see, get smaller. If I was to draw circles right here, they would get smaller as I fill up the water. So that's why you have to have the 1/3. That's the difference between a cylinder and a cone, is that 1/3. So first example is, let's say we have a cone that has a radius of 3 and a height of 6. We take our formula and we substitute in the radius and the height. So we write 1/3 times pi times 3, that's our radius, 3 squared times your height, 6. And that's as simple as that. Then you work it out. 1/3 times pi times 9, 3 squared is 9, times 6, and you get 56.5. Remember, volume is cubed, so we have to have a little 3 right there. So the way you would work it out on your calculator is you could do it both ways, if you have a graphing calculator or not. So parentheses 1 divided by 3, you can get one online, times pi, so I'm going to use pi, but you can use 3.14, times your radius squared, so 3 squared times 6. And you get your 56.5. That's how you do that. If you use alpha F1 for your fraction, 1 divided by 3 times pi, or you don't have to do pi, you could just put pi like this, times 3 squared times 6. You should be able to do that on a calculator, or you're going to have to put parts on a baby calculator, I always call it. All right, example 2. So let's do example 2. Example 2 here, we have a radius of 2, a height of 7. And so we say 1/3 times pi times 2 squared. 2 is your radius, so you substitute it in for r, and your height 7. And then you worked it out. 1/3, you could put in parentheses like that, times pi, you could use 3.14, times 4, 2 squared is 4, times 7. And this all works out to 29.3 feet, because we're dealing with feet cubed. Remember, volume is always cubed, like I said. So if we were to work this on our graphing calculator, then I'm going to go parentheses 1 divided by 3 parentheses times pi, second pi. Pi, remember, is over here to the right above the caret button, times 4, because that's 2 squared. I'm going to do 2 squared times 7, and that equals 29.32, which is 29.3 when you round it. Feet cubed, remember, because volume is cubic. All right, let's go to the example 3. So example 3, that one was right side up. I turned it upside down. Now I'm going to turn it to the right, but it's the same idea. But this one I added in the diameter. The diameter, remember, goes from one side of the circle to the other. Remember, this is a circle, not an oval. It looks like an oval, but it's a circle. So that's 24. So we first have to take half of it in order to get the radius. So half of the diameter is 12. Half of 24 is 12. So that's now your radius. Now you substitute 12 in and 26 in, which is your height. So we go 1/3 pi times 12 squared times 26. 1/3 times pi times 12 squared is 144. 12 times 12 times 26. And then we multiply that all out on a calculator, 3,920.7 millimeters cubed. And remember, always cubed. So let's do that one on the graphing calculator. So parentheses 1 divided by 3 parentheses times, I'm going to do 3.14 this time instead of pi, times 12 times 12. We could go 12 times 12 like that, and then times 26. But we do all that out if we want it like that, and you still get, this one's a little bit different because I use 3.14, so I'd get 3,918.7 which is a little bit different because I used pi. So both answers would be correct depending on whether you use pi or whether you use 3.14. All right, good luck with everything.